Hey, it is Xennial Gamer, and today we're going to be talking about Garo, the Fire Ninja. Garo is actually one of my favorite monsters to use in Siege. I used to use him in Arena as well. Really strong Meta Nat4, and this is going to be kicking off a series of videos I hope to do on Meta Nat4s, which aren't quite free to play but are much more attainable to a lot more people. So the general consensus build is that Garo should always be in Vampire. The secondary options are Nemesis and Revenge. Now you could do other builds with Garo. For example, you could do Violent. People put everything in Violent. You see Violent Mihos. But honestly, for me, I feel like Vampire is the only build that makes logical sense for Garo. Now the reason for that is because of Garo's passive. This is also what makes Garo really special. So when he would take a killing blow, the first killing blow he would take, it offsets that damage. It basically sets the damage to 0, so he does not take the killing blow, and it boosts his attack bar by 50%, which usually lets him cut the enemy team. Garo is the perfect counter to single target high damage nukers. And then what you really want is for Garo to be able to continually heal himself so that he doesn't have to be super tanky, and instead he's built just to do a lot of damage. Now, Garo's other skills right here, his skill 1 is going to scale to his attack speed, so you want to build him fast. It also does 1 continuous damage, and part of the reason why he's such a good counter to Miho is also his skill 2, which has a 65% chance times 2 to stun the enemy. So you get 2 chances to stun them, 65% activation rate each. The ideal build for him is going to be speed, crit damage, attack. We talked about Vampire. Now, there are, as I said, 2 viable secondary builds, which are going to be Nemesis or Revenge. I've run him on both, and I'm kind of torn as to which one is better. The Nemesis is nice because it continually advances his attack bar, and it makes it that much more likely that he's going to cut. The Revenge is nice because every now and then you get a proc out with some really good damage. Overall, you're probably going to be better off on Nemesis, but they're really close for me. At the end of the day, I would take whichever set gave you the better stats overall. Now, speaking of stats, you can see, I'm going to move my chair here a little bit. You can see my accuracy is 22. It'd be nice if he had maybe a touch more accuracy for the stuns, but ultimately accuracy is not your primary focus here. What you want is lots of crit rate, lots of crit damage, lots of attack, just enough defense and HP that he can't be killed off by like Bastet's or something that hits really soft on triple hits. The bigger triple hitters like a Stella, for example, is an immediate Garo counter. But monsters like Bastet, you want to make sure that they can't kill him too easily, so he needs a little bit of HP and defense, but mostly you're just going all out for speed, attack, crit rate, and crit damage. Now, Garo is the perfect counter, as I said, to any single target big hitter. You do have to be careful, though, of violent procs and of multi-hitters. So I mentioned Stella, but there are quite a few other monsters that are going to multi-hit, and the passive only protects you from the first hit that would kill you. So for example, Abigail, who randomly was sitting in my inventory next to him, she's going to hit for 3 times on her first skill, 8 times on her second, she even hits twice on her third, so Abigail is a great monster to counter Garo. Now, on defenses, you're going to see Garo mostly on Siege defenses, partly because of his massive 30% fire attribute lead, so he pairs beautifully with Draco, who's an attack bar booster. So you see a lot of times Garo Draco +1. I happen to use Garo Draco Odin, which actually does really well for me in high G1 and G2 Siege. It's won more than it's lost overall through 2 seasons. In 4-star bases, you might see something like Garo Draco Miho, Garo Draco Susano, things like that. Still a very meta defense monster. Meta's changed a little bit. You don't see him as often as you used to, but you do still see him, and those defenses do still win and do well. Now, Garo is still more prominently great for your Siege and Guild War offense because you can control where you bring him in. So anytime you can bring him in against an enemy that's going to do that single big hit, you're going to have a huge advantage. Now, here's a monster that might come to mind, Skogul. Skogul's cannot kill Garo. Even a Violet Skogul cannot kill a Garo. They're going to have attribute disadvantage. They do almost no damage with their skill 1. All their damage comes from the rock dropping, but the rock dropping is going to do no damage to the Garo whatsoever. Even if the Skogul procs 2 or 3 times after that, he's not going to get 2 rocks out in 1 round. So if you bring in Garo against a Skogul, as long as you can kill, obviously, the monsters complementing the Skogul, you're guaranteed the win. So now let's go take a look at some of the Guild War defenses we have and discuss where Garo would be useful offensively against them. Okay, so as you can see, we're currently rank 51. We were actually G3 at the start of this, and so we're going to see if we can use Garo and maybe a couple of other Nat4s to counteract some of these G3 Nat5 defenses. Now, obviously, I know we said this is a video about Meta Nat4s, and I've got Wusa in here who's a premium Nat5, and I'm also going to tell you that Wusa is not really replaceable. Or at least Wusa is replaceable, but not to maintain that 100% win rate. What Wusa protects you against is a Troll Ciara that's super slow, or a Derp by Bastet, or just the Ciara going proc crazy. So here's how it works. The enemy Bastet is going to attack bar boost the Daphnis, or it's not. It honestly doesn't matter if Bastet derps or not. Either way, Daphnis is going to go after Garo. Now, part of the reason for that is because both my Theo and my Wusa are in Will Runes, so that's why it doesn't matter if Bastet derps. If the Wusa was not in Will Runes and Bastet broke Wusa, then the AI might go crazy, Daphnis might chase it, or if the speed tuning was backwards on the other team and the Ciara went ahead of the Daphnis, which is not how you should tune that team, but it can happen, and then the Ciara bombs Wusa, like things can fall apart. So this is what creates the derp protection. The Garo is the only one not in Will Runes, so the enemy team cannot do anything to anyone but Garo, and Daphnis is unable to kill the Garo. Now with his speed lead, my Garo is somewhere around 260, he probably doesn't even need the speed lead, but it guarantees that he's going to cut that Ciara because the Daphnis is going to push him up by 50%. Now, my Wusa should most likely go after Ciara and put up the AoE immunity, but again, it doesn't matter because he's got Will Runes, there's no stripper on the enemy side, and once the immunity is up, the Ciara is completely nerfed. She can't do anything. My Theo has Element King, so between Theo and Garo, the Ciara is guaranteed to die before she ever gets to do any real damage. Okay, so coming into the fight, the Bastet does derp, the Wusa actually cuts, and that's still fine. Either way, it doesn't really matter. The Garo actually cuts as well, so the enemy team was kind of slow, the enemy team was slow because the Bastet derped. So we're going to go ahead and just hit the Daphnis first. It doesn't really matter which one. The Garo happened to resist, but once again, it doesn't matter. Wusa can't do anything here, as you can, Ciara can't do anything here, as you can see. We'll just use our skill 1 to kill the Daphnis. And then now the Bastet goes, but it's basically already GG. You can see the debuffs are gone off the Garo. And we should get the kill right here. If she triple resists, we might not get the kill. But even then, there still would be nothing she can do. And then we go ahead and just auto. Okay, so this top comp is slightly risky just because you know that Molong is violent, Harmonia is violent. If they go proc crazy, I really don't have anything to clean up. Ideally, this would be, what we're kind of emulating here is something like an Ajir, Triana, Skogul, Nat4 team. But it's not nearly as dangerous. The Ajir, as dangerous as they are, they're not quite as dangerous as the Molong because they don't have that stun ability. Also, the Molong is unpredictable. The idea here is that the Molong will Reckless my Garo, which hopefully will not kill him, but if the Molong then procs and follows up with his skill 1 or even his skill 2, they're both triple hits, they will kill the Garo. However, I should outspeed with my Lauren, and my Ajir is also got a chance to outspeed. And as long as we kill the Molong quickly, Harmonia Skogul will never be able to kill me. We're going to go ahead, we'll see if we can get a stun on the Harmonia. Now we're going to see if we can confiscate the attack bar, which we did. So we'll go ahead and get our brand right here. And again, we're not too worried about that Skogul just yet. All we really need to do is get rid of this Molong. Now, we'll go ahead and hit with the Garo because I knew he'd Unwanted Harmony. We're still going to keep trying to control the Molong. Okay, that's a lot of procs, but I'm still okay even with those procs. Now, do we want to I don't think we need to stun. So here's another thing that you should know about Garo. Skill 1 hits harder than Skill 2 because it scales to speed. So it depends on your build. If you're built reasonably fast, Skill 1 hits harder. Skill 2 just has the benefit of stunning. And looking at the attack bars, I think the Molong is slowed. What we actually want to do is stun the Harmonia, which we did. And then we want to just steal the attack bar from the Molong. We're going to want to slow that Harmonia now. We're going to go ahead and kill the Molong. He's going to die to the damage over time, so we'll kill the Harmonia. We didn't quite kill the Harmonia, but this should do it. So now we can start working on this Skogul, and we've really got nothing to worry about here. And like I said, from this point, even if my Ajir and Lauren were dead, Garo could solo that Skogul because there's just nothing he can do to me. Okay, so for this one, we've got the Luis, Praha, Laika. And what we're going to be doing is bringing in, all of these monsters are basically multi-hitters. So we've got the Chilling, who's in total pretty much garbage runes, to be honest. But he is going to give me the crit buff on the Garo, because as I mentioned, I run mine with a lower crit rate when I'm countering Mihos. The Garo is going to be the primary tank for that Laika. So there is always the risk that the Laika would go proc crazy, but short of the procs, the Laika cannot kill my Garo. And then I've got all these multi-hitters to just knock out the Laika quickly. Once the Laika is gone, we should just be able to keep stealing buffs and killing them down. Okay, so we actually took first turn because of that speed lead on the Garo. So he's running around 270 right now. And that's going to give us a chance to just... the question is, so we have a chance to stun the Luis, but the question is, do we care? It's the Praha who's the real danger. She can shield. I'm okay with that. Let's try and stun the Praha. We'll go against attribute advantage. We got the stun, so that's perfect. And so we actually outsped with the Mina as well. The Mina's 267. So my Garo is about 270. I think the Mina's 267. Well, we could actually finish the Laika right here, but since this is a Garo spotlight, we're not going to finish the Laika. We are going to break the shield, I guess, and stun the Laika. I want to show like the Laika actually hitting Garo, but it looks like that might not happen. Okay, we will take that invincibility. Hopefully we don't kill him though. Okay, we didn't kill him. We boosted him. Let's go ahead and just hit the Praha. Now, wouldn't this be great if Laika went proc crazy and just made me look like a fool, right? Okay, so for those of you, I'm sure everybody knows, but Laika can't take more than 30% damage on one hit. So I can go ahead and just hit him once right here. And then he's going to come back and hit me. And you saw he boosted my attack bar right there, which means I'm going to get right back in front of him. I'll go ahead and steal the immunity from over here. We added some slow as well, didn't really matter. And now I could kill him with my multi-hit right here. We'll go ahead and take out this Praha. And I feel like this wasn't the greatest Garo showcase. To be fair, I was looking for defenses that lined up for Garo. There were some really strong defenses in here with some like Guardian RTA wings and everything. So I think this is actually kind of perfect. We're going to use the same team we just used. Now this is, for those who watch any Siege videos, you'll know that one of the most meta Nat4 defenses that's really strong right now is Ileana, Vigor, and Skogul. I don't have Ileana, so Olivia you can run as a poor man's Ileana. It's definitely a big step down, but it's still a strong defense that you will see in Guardian 2 Sieges. You wouldn't see this in Guardian 3, but you'll see this in like low Guardian 2 or high Guardian 1. So we're going to use the exact same team we just used. We're going to use Chilling to steal all of those Vigor buffs. We're going to use the Mina to eventually kill the Vigor. Now the one big thing here is that Vigor could wind up one-shotting my Garo because he is a triple hitter. So we're going to see how this goes, but if we can take the Vigor down fast enough, then the Garo could basically solo out from there. So the hope here is, and of course I have Will Runes on my Vigor. I completely forgot I have Will Runes on my Vigor. But we're going to go ahead, we're going to go right into Attribute Disadvantage. We got the Glancing hit, but that was fair. We're going to use our Skill 1 and save the Skill 2 for right now until that immunity is gone. So Atlas Stone goes up. Now that was perfect for us. The AI did what it was supposed to do. We're going to go ahead and steal those buffs and then see if we can stun this Vigor because he's the only one we actually care about. We're still going to go right into the Vigor because, as I said, Garo could solo this whole thing from that point. Garo unfortunately got a Glancing hit, but this should kill the Vigor right here. Maybe? Do I buff? No, I don't need to buff because, like I said, Garo could solo right from this point. Now that Olivia does have a multi-hit on her skill 1, but it won't do enough damage. I'll be able to out-heal faster than she can do damage with her skill 1. So we'll go ahead and just work on that Olivia anyway since she has the multi-hit. We're just going to completely ignore the Skogul because it really doesn't matter And he is on Violent, but it wouldn't even matter if he procced that rock like crazy because he can't kill the Garo. And now we can just auto out from here. So it's kind of shameful that I actually think I can do this, and I will tell you that all three of those monsters, Jean, Rakan, and Tyrannus, are in really good runes. The Jean and the Tyrannus are both in Violent runes, so there is a shot that they could just wreck my Garo. But I think I can two-man this with Garo and Tetra. So we're going to try and two-man a defense with Jean plus 2 premium Nat5s using just 2 Nat4s. So I think we're going to stun the Jean for now. And then we want to try and... the strip there really didn't even matter. So the Tetra resistance was nice. And then you'll see we... Now, the Rakan is not in Violent. He's the only one not in Violent. Okay, we got the strip right there, which was perfect. So I think we can get the stun here. And now let's actually just strip off that attack buff at the same time, just because I knew she was about to provoke me again. Now, this right here is one reason why I do like the revenge runes of my Garo. Because you saw we did get 1 or 2 counters off already, and he hits pretty hard when he revenges. So that Tetra will continue to cool off the Garo. She stripped the... she took the hit from Tyrannus like a mermaid. Went ahead and stripped off the Resurrection. So my Tetra is max resistance. My Jean is about 50 accuracy. Wow, that's a lot of procs from Jean. And every one of those procs keeps healing the Rakan, which is the big concern here. How come my Jean doesn't do this for me on offense? What's up with that? But alright, so we're good. We need to strip this again. He resisted. So I need my Tetra to have a minute to heal, so we're going to stun the Tyrannus for right now so she can start healing a little bit. And now you see the Rakan just keeps collapsing into Garo. Okay. Okay, we're good. So can we get some damage on the Rakan? He collapsed into me again, and okay, that right there, that counter was really important. Now, can we strip the invincibility? We cannot. Another counter, so you see my Garo is almost back to full health again. Can we strip? Okay. So we can stun now, though. We've almost got him down. I think I need to actually... I don't really care if the Garo hits the Jean right now. Tetra needs a moment to heal because that Tyrannus is about to do some big damage to it. Now, can we strip anything? We can't strip anything, but we can kill the Rakan with our skill 1. He can't collapse on us if he's resurrecting, and it cleanses all his buffs. So let's... Oh, no. Okay, countered. The counter works. Yeah, that Tetra just got rocked. I knew we needed the shield right there. Okay, so now we can stun this Jean, and she's just about gone. She got the stun on Garo. That wasn't great, but we're still shielded up with Tetra. Double resist there was nice. Can we take the invincibility? We can't, but that's okay. Garo's back to full health. And let's just hit the Jean for right now. And we want to stun this Tyrannus because he's got to be close to resurrecting that Rakan again. Once the Jean is down, we're actually good. Even if Tyrannus gets the resurrection off. Now my Jean is max resistance. You see she's resisting a bunch, but that's normal. She is max resistance. Okay, can we strip the defense buff? Nope, but we can stun him. Oh, another big hit. Uh-oh. Okay, we definitely need the shield here. We need to stun this Tyrannus again. His damage keeps getting us a little lower than we'd like. And again, the Rakan here is basically just a nuisance. Now, it helps that I know that my Rakan is not on Violent. That definitely helps a lot. But knowing that he's not on Violent, he really just becomes nothing more than a nuisance. And can we strip? Well, we can, but we stripped the wrong thing. Let's just get this Jean out of here for right now. I do think I'm going to win this eventually. I really do. We need to strip that defense buff. Okay, we got the defense buff. Let's get rid of the Recon. Oh, okay. Oh, the revenge again, but uh-oh. Okay, we need to strip. Didn't get the strip, but he had no defense buff, so we're okay. That was a clutch revenge there by Garo. Let's stun this Jean if we can. We cannot. Okay, let's go ahead and shield up while we heal up. The Garo's taking care of himself as far as the healing goes. Obviously, the passive from Tetra makes a huge difference also. We're getting 3,600 healing, I think, from Tetra each turn. And I think we can just shield up now. Should be able to kill the Jean. And now, well, I was going to say there's auto territory, but not quite yet. We are going to get one more revive from that Tyrannus. Well, he's going to revive himself, but I think his cooldown is back, so he's going to revive one more monster, which is the Jean, so that's actually fine. Better than the Rakan, of course. He doesn't have defense buff because he revived. This should kill the Jean, and now we're in auto territory. So, two-manned my own defense, and that defense is really high efficiency runes. The Tyrannus is like 102% efficiency. As a matter of fact, I'll just go ahead and show you the builds so you can see those are legit monsters. So here is the Jean, 35k HP, 1400 defense. She's actually 1 off max resist, 99 resist. So you can see the Jean stats. Here is the Tyrannus, Vile Will, plus 1300 defense. It's got crit rate. He's got an uninscribed crit damage rune. Need to fix that. But other than the one busted rune, Tyrannus is in solid runes. And then here is the Rakan. So as you guys can see, Garo is an amazing monster. You bring him in against any enemy that does just one big hit single target damage. Great counter to monsters like Rakan, who are usually on Vampire. Now, a Violent Rakan might get your Garo, but his skill 1 doesn't do much damage anyway, so it'd be a bad beat if it happened. But yeah, you bring him in against any monster that does big single target damage. Great counter to like the Ciara Daphnis Bastet. One of my favorite all-around Meta Nat4 monsters. So that's it for today's video, guys. As always, hope you enjoyed it. Appreciate you watching, and we'll see you next time. Hey guys, if you're still with me to this point, then that means that you probably liked the video, found it entertaining, or even better, both. So please smash the like button, hit the subscribe button, and leave a comment down below, because those things help the channel grow, and more importantly, they show me that the video is useful, and that's the whole reason I do this in the first place.